Hello and welcome to the story of Wasaga Beach bridges. The bridges in Wasaga Beach have impacted how tourism and the town developed since the first one was constructed across the Wasaga River in 1872. The Van Vleck Bridge was built just east of the Main Street Bridge. The bridge was a wooden structure that was built to allow workers at the Gowan Lock Van Vleck Mill easier access to the mill. Prior to the bridge construction, workers had to either boat or ferry across the river to the mill. The bridge also became the first regular access to the beachfront for the residents of Van Vleck and for tourists. The Simcoe County Council granted the sum of $400 towards the building of the Van Vleck Bridge in 1872. This would be approximately $8,500 today. In 1879, they granted a small sum at the request of Richard W. Counselor to raise a span of the bridge so that the tugboats could pass beneath the wooden structure. County Council allotted $75 towards this cost. In today's dollars, that would be approximately $2,000. As the Van Vleck Bridge was a wooden structure, it was in constant need of repair. There are records to indicate repairs were completed in 1884, 1885, 1887, and 1888. Such was the concern about the bridge that Council had two members review the structure, and in 1889, a sum of $200 was granted to build a new wooden pier to provide support to the bridge. During this time, a controversy arose regarding as to whether or not the Van Vleck Bridge should be relocated slightly west of its location, aligning it with the town line between Flows and Sunnydale townships. At the time, Council made the decision not to move the bridge from its current location. This access to the beachfront provided by the Van Vleck Bridge initiated the development of the first cottages and lodges on the north side of the river. Summerfelt Hotel opened on the north side of the Wasaga River, just west of the bridge, capitalizing on the fishing and the hunting in the area. It was the humble start to Wasaga Beach becoming a major tourist area. The wooden structure of the Van Vleck Bridge eventually became so deteriorated that it was no longer repairable and deemed unsafe, and so in 1908 it was replaced by the building of a two-lane steel bridge. On display in the Wasaga Beach archives, you will find a piece of the original Van Vleck Bridge, two wooden beams still connected by their original spikes. You could also view a scale replica model of the Van Vleck Bridge constructed by Brian Birmingham. In 1909, a new steel bridge was constructed west of the Van Vleck Bridge on the site where the Main Street Bridge is now located. The location of the bridge and the necessity of a new bridge were the cause of some debate. The residents of the Van Vleck settlement questioned the need for a new bridge, indicating the old wooden bridge could be repaired and made safe. The residents of Flows Township wanted safer access across the Wasaga, and many would not cross on the Van Vleck Bridge, fearing for their safety. Added to this were the first cottagers and tourists who wanted reliable access to their accommodations. Finally, there was also a question as to whether or not there was actually reliable road to traverse once you crossed the bridge. Some councillors argued that the beach road could hardly be considered a county road, and that the estimated cost of a new bridge would be a costly endeavor. Our first town archivist, Thelma Morrison, in her book Wasaga Saga, also noted that there was a secondary road, the beginning of Mosley Street. It was probably no more than a faint muddy track. The street was apparently named after James Mosley, who was described as a reclusive bachelor who lived for many years in a small shack on the bank of the Wasaga River near what is now 9th Street. Mosley had an extensive garden, and in particular his potatoes were famous for their quality. He also hunted, trapped, and fished, and was largely self-sustaining. Legend has it that the solitude finally grew too oppressive and caused him to begin hallucinating. Finally, the story goes, he lost his mind completely. A decision was made that a new bridge was required, and the contracts and plans were drawn up. $15,000 was allotted by county councillors for the cost of the new steel bridge. The steel bridge was a narrow two-lane structure with a walkway for pedestrian traffic on the side. It was a much stronger structure with two concrete piers supporting the structure in the center and concrete abutments at each end. In 1909, the steel bridge was constructed on the town line between Flows and Sunnydale Townships, west of the Van Vleck Bridge, allowing direct access to Main Street and the beachfront road. The new steel bridge would open the door for the development and growth of tourism in Wasaga Beach by allowing traffic easier access to the beachfront. As Wasaga Beach grew, the amount of traffic utilizing the steel bridge increased dramatically. This became an issue over time as it was the only access point to the beachfront from Highway 92 and also for the residents living on River Road East and West. The steel bridge was also very narrow and built for vehicles in 1909, not for the larger cars being built after the Second World War. The steel bridge was also starting to show its age from years of service. It became apparent that a larger bridge was required in order to accommodate not only the growing population of local residents, but the tourists who flocked to the area every summer from May to September. Wasaga Beach had developed into a summer resort with multiple beachfront and riverside hotels, inns, and cottage courts scattered throughout the beach. With development of better highway access and more robust automobiles, Wasaga Beach also started to see more day trippers to the beachfront. Highway 26, which started as only one lane, was paved in 1930 and then increased to a two-lane highway and repaved in 1947. Highway 92 was paved in 1940, and in the 50s, Highway 400 was built. All of this served to make Wasaga Beach an accessible tourist center. The discussion of building a wider, more substantial bridge was started between the Wasaga Beach Town Council and the province. The provincial involvement related directly to the number of tourists who came to the beach over the summer months, and because the Department of Lands and Forests were responsible for maintaining that beachfront. With provincial funding secured, plans were drafted and contracts approved for the new structure. The Main Street Bridge was built in the same location as the steel bridge, maintaining access to the shops on Main Street and to Beachfront Drive. During the construction of the Main Street Bridge, a Bailey Bridge was set up over the Nottawasaga River. The Bailey Bridge was set up close to the construction site of the new Main Street Bridge, and it kept Wasaga Beach open until the new Main Street Bridge was completed. The bridge officially opened on October 4th, 1961 with much fanfare. Members of council, provincial dignitaries, local residents, the Brownies and Scouts were all in attendance. As Wasaga Beach grew, so did the amount of traffic that basically had one of four main routes in and out of the beach. Highway 92 over the Main Street Bridge, Highway 26 with access points coming in from Sunnydale Road, the town line, and directly onto Mosley Street, where the roundabout is now located. You could also come in Klondike Park Road, Veterans Way, over the old Iron Bridge, a single-lane bridge, and then take River Road West to cross the Main Street Bridge. For the local residents and the tourists, getting in and out of Wasaga Beach became a bit of a nightmare. On the weekends, it was not uncommon for traffic to be backed up Mosley Street for hours. As children, we used to sit and watch as people slowly made their way to either their destination or home. Sunday evenings were always interesting as the tourists all seemed to try and make their way out of the beach at the same time, and traffic on Mosley Street would come to a standstill. The other issue was anyone who lived on River Road West had to drive to the Main Street Bridge, cross to go shopping in the beach, or head into Collingwood. To alleviate some of the traffic issues and to give local residents better access, Wasaga Beach and the province began discussing the building of a new bridge. The ground was turned for the Schoonertown Bridge on August 26, 1975, and construction began. The Schoonertown Bridge opened on September 26, 1976, with town, municipal, and provincial dignitaries in attendance. The first vehicle across the bridge was a 1901 Olds Conklin with Mayor Claire Robertson at the wheel. The new bridge, as the locals still call it, provided local residents easier access to the Mosley Street shopping areas and did alleviate some of the summer traffic issues. In 2014, the new bridge underwent a major renovation, increasing in size to encompass 4 lanes, a bike lane, wider sidewalks, and traffic signals at the turn to Oxbow Park Road. It was also now aligned with the section of Mosley Street from the new bridge to 45th Street that had been increased to 4 lanes. There are 2 other bridges which are part of the history of tourism in Wasaga Beach. They are both part of the Provincial Parks Nancy Island Historic Site. One is the bridge over to Nancy Island that started out as a swing bridge, and the second is the swing bridge from Nancy Island to the lighthouse. The bridges in Wasaga Beach have had a significant impact on the growth of tourism and on the growth of the town as a whole. Perhaps in the future history of the town, we may see the development of a strictly pedestrian biking bridge over the Nottawasaga River, providing more access to the beachfront. As the population of the town of Wasaga Beach grows, and with ongoing development of tourism, might there be a 3rd bridge for traffic built over the Nottawasaga River? This is the history that will be for the future generations who live here year-round, and for those who continue to visit our sandy shores. Please join us again for more interesting historical stories about our great town. You can find more information about the history of Wasaga Beach by contacting the Historical Advisory Committee at wbhac2020@gmail.com.